I got along with girls as long as they didn't play with dolls. Or as long as they kept their dolls to themselves. Dolls gave me the creeps. I was okay with stuffed animals, though. As I got older, I became very good friends with non-doll playing girls. In fact, as I got older, some of my best friends were girls. Still are. Eventually, like most guys my age, I started to be drawn to girls differently. While growing up, I thought that the girls I was friends with were basically the same as I was. We liked the same things. Now, I began to notice girls were very different from us, and I frequently thought about what was different about those girls. I mean, we were still similar in that we liked the same things. That part hadn't changed. It was just that I became aware of the more obvious differences. I was aware of their faces, their shapes, their hair, even their voices. It was like I just started to notice that girls were different from us all over again, and I was not sure how to behave around them anymore, and that was a weird feeling. Some of my friends seemed more confident than I felt, and while I still talked to the girls I was friends with, I felt a need to be more formal toward them. I didn't know where that came from. Some of my friends actually talked about the girls, both the ones that I was friends with and the ones that I wasn't. Sometimes these guys would comment on how good-looking a girl was or how cute a girl was, things like that. And I would agree, yep, she's really pretty, or say something similar. But it was an observation, nothing more. I didn't like talking about the girls like that. Even though we were saying nice things about the girls, it felt like we were talking about them behind their backs, and that was not something you did to your friends. But I would not tell my female friends how I thought they looked pretty, because that was just weird. That was something my dad would say to my mom, not something I would say to my friend Alex or Cheyenne, even if it was true. I had never said it to them before, so I didn't say it then. Some of the other guys seemed more confident still. They would flirt with different girls and tell them how good they looked. And they also talked about the girls differently. It wasn't just she's really pretty. It was more direct. One day while I was talking to some of the guys, Alex walked by and told me she'd see me in class. As she walked past, a couple of the boys stared at her. Check out that booty, Paul said. It just moves all on its own. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't like anyone talking about Alex that way. She was one of my best friends. She looks good from the front, too, Ed said. Jason, you're a lucky man. Have you been with that? That? One of my best friends was just referred to as that? I really didn't like this. Been with her? No. Alex is one of my best friends, I said, and then I walked off to class. Sitting next to Alex in class, I couldn't help but think about what Paul and Ed said. I wondered if I should tell her. Alex was just wearing jeans and a shirt. She wasn't dressed up or showing skin. So we talked about our assignments and about what we were doing over the weekend. We agreed to check out the new exhibit at the zoo as we were both biology nerds. And that was another thing. I mean, if she was such a nerd, then why were those guys talking about her like she was a pop star wearing a sexy outfit? Even if she had been wearing something like that, I wouldn't have liked someone talking about her that way. I couldn't figure out why this bugged me so much. While, yes, I thought Alex was pretty, I couldn't imagine talking about her that way. Throughout the rest of the day, I wondered why I was so upset about what the other guys said about Alex. And it wasn't just Alex, though. I considered why I didn't like hearing them talk about any of the girls that way, even the girls that I was not friends with. They would even rate the girls on a hotness scale, whatever that was. And it was basically rating the girls on if they were pretty or not. Sometimes they referred to girls that they didn't think were attractive as dogs or pigs or some other unflattering name. I hated that, too. It made me feel gross. I wasn't sure why those guys talked about girls like that. I hoped that the girls didn't talk about us that way. And I had no idea why it bothered me. I avoided these guys for the rest of the day. I didn't want to hear them talk about the girls, any of the girls. At home, I told my dad about what had happened and asked if I was weird for not liking it. No, not at all, Dad said. Your mom and I want you to be respectful of other people. That means all other people. Those boys were disrespectful to the girls. But why? I asked. I want to understand why I don't feel that way. Do you like girls? Dad asked. Well, yes, I said. And Alex is very pretty. There are a lot of pretty girls. I just don't like to talk about them like that. That is because you respect them, Dad said, smiling. And it makes you uncomfortable to hear your friends disrespectfully talk about them. I guess, I said. But I don't even like it when the guys are talking about girls that I'm not friends with. Still, it doesn't matter if you are friends with a girl or not, Dad said. You can still respect them. You can respect someone that you don't even like as a person. That is why it bothers you. Nobody taught these boys that they should respect women. That is something that people either learn from their parents or along the way in life. Some people never understand it. It bothers you because you do respect women and you empathize with them. That is why you don't like to talk about them that way. I got it. I understood. It was like when someone referred to animals as stupid. I hated when people said things like that. It was the same with girls. The next day in school, when Ed and Paul commented about Alex as she walked by, I couldn't take it. So I said, "Don't talk about Alex that way. That's disrespectful." "What's your problem, dude?" Paul asked. "I really don't like you talking about girls that way," I said. "It's disrespectful. It's like talking about them behind their backs. They don't talk about us or rate us that way. I really would like it if you stop." "Whatever, fairy," Ed said. "You obviously know nothing about women." He had me there. I was sure that I knew nothing about women, except that I knew a lot of them. "I'm friends with a lot of girls," I said, "so I know more about them than you do." And with that, I walked back to class. It felt good to say that. Paul and Ed were still my friends, but we didn't hang out together as often as we used to. And that was all right. My best friends like Chuck, Tay, and Manu, they didn't talk about girls like that. And as my dad had said, we have to be taught to respect each other. I'm glad that he and Mom taught me to be respectful of everyone. I have a lot of friends, and they're all different, and I respect every one of them. Later, I learned that speaking up to my friends was also a sign of respect. Nothing can change if we do not speak up about it. Thank you for watching. Please click on my right to subscribe if you like the video. And don't forget to click on the bell icon when you subscribe so that you can be notified when we upload a new video. Watch more videos on the left, including our playlist. And thank you again.